Hallo Leute und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Episode von Let's Play Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers, wo wir in der letzten Folge ganz böse abgeblitzt sind.
The sign says the overlook's closed for repairs until June 21st.
Schade. Ich wollte eigentlich zum Aussichtspunkt des Jackson Square, um so ein bisschen unser weiteres Vorgehen und die letzten Ereignisse zu überdenken, aber dann machen wir halt einen kleinen Spaziergang durch den Park. Vielleicht kommen wir ja auf andere Gedanken. Hi! Na?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yep, I mind all right.
Why?
Because A, I don't know anything, and B, I'm busy.
Oh.
Okay. Hallo?
You dance pretty well for a kid.
Give me some money then.
I don't have any.
Then don't block the view, mister.
Do you do requests?
Got any money?
Nope.
Something to eat?
No.
There you have it. No.
Can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay then.
Na gut. Ah, ihr seid auch nicht schlecht.
A Cajun band, inventive as always with their instruments, is having a good old time on the lawn. Funny how catchy that toe tapping can be.
Ach ja. Und da unten steht ja schon ein Trommler. Die sehen wir relativ...
Hey! Oh, come back here. Hey!
oft in New Orleans.
Unbelievable. Rotten luck.
Entschuldigung. Alles in Ordnung bei Ihnen? Ich kann mit ihm... Jetzt kann ich mit dem Künstler reden hier.
An artist is taking advantage of the fine weather.
Hi.
Those drawing tools are amazing.
Yeah, they're great for laying lines, angles, circles, you know, anything geometric. It's pretty meticulous, but I prefer it to freehand.
Can you draw anything with those tools?
They're great for ordered, complex forms and patterns, but they won't help me do Monet.
Formen und Muster, ja?
How's it going?
Life sucks. I just lost 2 days worth of work.
What are you working on now?
Just starting another drawing of the cathedral.
Kannst du mir vielleicht einen Gefallen tun?
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
I'm a student. I don't take commissions.
Oh, sorry.
Schade. War ein Versuch wert. Aber vielleicht, wenn er uns einen Gefallen schuldet...
There's a drawing caught up against the statue.
Hey, float over here, would you?
The drawing ignores Gabriel.
Das ist aber dreist. Mal irgendwie dran?
Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is.
Nee. Aber vielleicht jemand, der gelenkiger und kleiner ist als wir.
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Got any money?
Nope.
There you have it. No.
Can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay then.
Could I get a doobie dog, please?
Not now, I'm busy.
An unambitious person in the 90s. Amazing.
Na toll. Oh, warte mal. Mit dem Gutschein vielleicht was anfangen hier?
What would the little boy do with that?
Es ist ein Gutschein für ein Büchergeschäft. Der Hotdog-Verkäufer will nichts verkaufen, weil er ein Buch liest. Also
I
von
have
daher...
this gift certificate.
I'm busy.
It's good for $20 at St. George's Books. Finest bookstore in New Orleans.
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
You could take this gift certificate with you. If you'll give me a doobie dog.
A doobie dog for a $20 gift certificate? Sure, here you go.
So, na toll, super. Jetzt kriege ich auch Hunger. Danke, Gabriel. Oh, ich muss erstmal eine Aufnahmepause machen hier. So, hier, für dich.
You wouldn't like a doobie dog by any chance.
Would I?
Original getragen in meiner Jackentasche. Oh Gott.
Thanks, mister. You got any special requests? Let me know.
Ich weiß nicht, die Stimme passt irgendwie nicht zu dem Körper, der hier dargestellt wird.
You mentioned something about special requests.
Yeah, you got one?
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach. Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing.
Danke.
Here you go.
Thanks, kid.
Yup. See ya.
Das war echt hilfreich. So. Wer der Herr Künstler?
Stupid wind. Now I have to start all over.
Nein, brauchst du nicht. Ich habe dein Kunstwerk gerettet. Aber
This
dafür
belongs to you,
schuldest
doesn't
du einen
it?
My
Gefallen.
drawing. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, hey?
Tja, also weißt du. Es gäbe da etwas.
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
The pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. Okie dokie. Well, oh, I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these, I'll see what I can do.
Kein Problem. Kein Problem, mein Freund.
I have another one of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
Und ich meine das ernst. Das könnte uns in diesem Fall wirklich ein bisschen voranbringen. Ich glaube, für heute reicht es dann aber auch mit den Ermittlungen.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Ein weiteres Tagewerk vollbracht. Da waren neue Szenen in unserem Traum. Der Dolch mit den Schlangen ist neu. Tag 3. Die Hallen des Wissens warteten auf mich. Dort war ich bereit zur Verschwörung. Aber in der Stadt der Toten fand ich meinen wahren Herzenswunsch. Danke. Was hat Grace eigentlich für Arbeitszeiten? kommt morgens, bringt die Zeitung mit rein und geht abends, wenn alles schon dunkel ist.
I'm so glad you could join us today. I've got messages when you want them. I also checked out Casino. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Great. Thanks.
Now, are you gonna tell me what happened yesterday with Malia Getty, or is it just too embarrassing? Don't tell me you actually got to see her.
All the stars out tonight.
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested. She can have any man in the city. You know, men with bank accounts.
You underestimate the Knight family's tragic poet samurai appeal. When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest catch in town.
I always suspected there was something fishy in your family tree. But seriously, I think you should be careful.
Meow, Grace.
I'm serious. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about this.
It's called jealousy, my dear. And you're right, you should be jealous of Malia Getty. As should every woman on this planet.
I just... never mind. I'll just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hands.
The point is to get it into somebody else's hands. And soon.
Ach ja, der Neid wieder, ne? Chauvinist durch und durch und durch und noch ein bisschen mehr. Nehmen wir mal die Zeitung.
Today's newspaper is on the counter. Times dated June 20th, 1993. Gabriel scans over an uninteresting front page. Under the cultural events section, there's a notice about a lecture on African religions. The lecture is at Tulane University.
Aha.
Gabriel's horoscope for the day. An evil eye is upon you. Change your course before it's too late.
Lighten up.
Sonntag, der 20. Juni. Ich muss ein bisschen in meinem Kopf behalten, was wann wieder zur Verfügung steht, weil das gefühlt, also ich meine zumindest, dass das im Original nicht so war. Ja, am 21. Juni ist der Aussichtspunkt wieder verfügbar. Am 22. Juni können wir zu Madame Moonbeam, richtig? Dürfen wir nicht vergessen. Franzosenquartier mit spanischem Einfluss. Das Franzosenquartier ist New Orleans meistbekanntes Viertel, oft verbunden mit der Party-Atmosphäre von Mardi Gras, unserem jährlichen, wochenlang kostümierten Fete. Aber das Quartier besteht aus viel mehr als nur einer Woche Perlenketten und Bourbon. Quartier, Viertel, das Viertel. 1718 von Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne de Vienville gegründet, Alter, diese französischen Namen, ne? Diente das Viertel als Originalzentrum der Stadt New Orleans. Trotz des Namens ist vieles der jetzigen Architektur stark vom spanischen Stil beeinflusst, da der Großteil der Gebäude 1788 während des großen Feuers von New Orleans verbrannte. Heutige Kultur. Mittags die öffentliche Lektüre afrikanischer Religionen an der Tulane Universität bitte nicht verpassen. Professor Hartridge trägt vor. Afrikanische Religionen. Wenn mich nicht alles täuscht und wenn ich in den letzten paar Folgen gut aufgepasst habe, dann zählt zu eben jenen afrikanischen Religionen doch auch ein gewisser Voodoo, nicht wahr? Vielleicht sollten wir uns diese Vorlesung tatsächlich angucken. So, okay, Grace, du hattest was für mich?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
Your pal Mosley called. He left a message that they are interrogating a suspect this morning, and you might want to be there.
Sounds fun.
I bet.
Ein Verdächtiger, ja?
Do you have messages for me?
Alter, was ist denn das
I've
hier?
given everything to you.
Mal kurz. Kleinen Augenblick, es geht sofort weiter. So, die wollen einen Verdächtigen verhören und wir sollen dabei sein. Das lassen wir uns doch nicht zweimal sagen, oder? Ich hatte eigentlich vor, was anderes zu machen jetzt, aber... Dann sehen wir mal zu, dass wir so schnell wie möglich zum Polizeirevier kommen, weil das wollen wir nicht verpassen. Das ist ein guter Start in den heutigen Tag, würde ich mal sagen.
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
Haha, immer noch genauso lustig wie beim ersten Mal, als du es gesagt hast, Gabriel. Immer noch ganz genauso lustig. Die Universität, haben wir die eigentlich jetzt auf unserem Tatsache? Die können wir inzwischen ansteuern. Na gut. Und wir starten mit dem Polizeirevier, denn darum geht es ja jetzt gerade, ne?
A drummer has decided to set up outside the police station.
Sind ja echt überall. So, Officer Fricks. Frick, wie auch immer.
Can I bother you again, officer?
What is it this time?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Danke. Ich glaube, ich muss mich tatsächlich jedes Mal anmelden, sonst gibt es Stress.
Gabriel decides to give Mosley a break and not change the temperature again.
Langweilig.
You! Give me back my badge! Now, Knight!
Sure. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
Yeah? You borrow it again in your history. Now, about today. Glad you made it. It'll give you a feel for how I am in action. You know, handling suspects, that sort of thing.
I'm sure it'll be invigorating. Who is this guy, anyway?
Calls himself Crash. He's been an informant for us before, mostly helping us bust small-time pimps and dealers trying to break into the territory. He's been staying invisible during these murders, but we picked him up this morning at Jackson Square pushing coke. He knows something. Call it detective's instinct.
Detective's instinct. Got it.
All right, Crash. I want to hear about these murders. Have you been present at the so-called voodoo rituals?
I don't know nothing. All right, I told you.
Come on now. You can tell me. Do you know anyone who's been to these rituals?
Look, I can't say nothing. You gotta let me go.
Relax. No one knows you're here. The men who picked you up were in plain clothes.
Plain clothes? Like you could fool them. They know I'm here. They've got ears all over the city. They know everything.
Who are they, Crash? Are they the ones doing the murders?
Let me go.
If you're so worried about being detained, start talking. You tell me what I want to hear, and maybe I can get you into the witness protection program. But you gotta earn it.
Witness protection? Are you crazy? Oh, don't make me laugh. Oh, Jesus, just let me out of here.
Oh, come on. Who's behind these murders, Crash? Why are the victims all members of the underworld?
Was?
By now they know I'm here. It's different when I'm supposed to come here. Oh, if I can send a message. Yeah. Tell him I didn't say nothing.
Christ, he's freaking useless. Just take him back to detaining, would you, Tony?
Danke, Tony. Ja, jetzt wissen wir auch, wie
I tell
der
you,
Junge
times
heißt.
like this, I'd kill for truth serum. Damn civil rights.
Can I quote you on that?
Huh? Hell no. Damn, we can only keep him for 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna have to let him go. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. You know, for the book, I mean. Hey, maybe you could punch it up some. You know, what do they call that? Fiction. That's it.
It certainly is. I'll see what I can do.
Trotzdem danke für diese Gelegenheit, mein Freund. Crash. 24 Stunden wird er jetzt festgehalten wegen der Koks-Geschichte. Mal ganz ehrlich. Wir können ihn nur 24 Stunden festhalten. Der hat versucht, Koks zu verkaufen. Du kannst viel mehr als den nur 24 Stunden festhalten, aber okay. Okay. 24 Stunden, das heißt morgen. Morgen ist er wieder draußen. Vielleicht hilft uns das ja irgendwas. Wir sollten das im Hinterkopf behalten.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What's the status on the Voodoo murders case?
Sure as hell ain't going well. There sure are a lot of brakes being applied in different areas of the investigation. We're getting some real info on the victims now, and they're not exactly upstanding citizens. I was hoping to get more out of Crash, but he's scared shitless. We'll have to let him go tomorrow morning.
Danke. Das war's erstmal. Wir haben noch eine Verabredung, die wir nicht verpassen sollten.
I'll let you get back to it.
Later, Knight.
Denn es gibt da eine potenziell sehr interessante Vorlesung an der Universität, die will ich nicht verpassen.
It looks like the lecture is just starting.
Wow, sind da echt viele Leute hier, wa?
Voodoo is the tribal religion of Africa, but the name Voodoo is actually a banner heading, under which resides an entire body of distinct tribal belief systems. The word voodoo may sound familiar to you. What is known in the States as voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, voodoo, and European religions, primarily Catholicism. All of these subcults of African voodoo have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits, instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals, some relate to specific tasks or places, some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes voodoo so easily adaptable. With all these spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. One tribe would conquer another, and the Loa, important in the conqueror's tribal system, would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa, enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices: animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions. And note, I said primal, not primitive. There are African Bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of voodoo.
Fascinating guy.
In voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a voodoo ceremony, celebrants are possessed by the Loa. This is called being ridden. The human worshipper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that spirit and becomes, in effect, merely a vessel for the more powerful entity.
So was wie ein
Some of the
Leopard.
older original Africa Loa include Dambala, the great serpent god, Ezuli, the mistress of love, Papa Nebo, or Gede, the lord of death,
Geddy?
Awe, the spirit of water, Legba, spirit of the crossroads, and the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagri, the lord of
Die Namen
destruction.
müssen wir uns übrigens merken.
I gotta get more sleep at night.
Tribe-specific Loa can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loa. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loa of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called houndfors. Their priests, Houngan or Bokors, their priestesses, Mama Loa. In a voodoo houndfor, there's a ritual circle marked by a center pole called a poteau meton. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance under the supervision of a Bokor and a Mama Loa, or head priestess. The use of totems, or animal masks and markings, was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice. Ritual objects used during the conclaves included the ritual gourd, or asan, the ritual knife, or kubasa,
That knife gives me the chills.
the ritual whip, or fouetcache, and the ritual coffin, or seke madule. These items are often optional, called for by the Mama Loa for specific magical rituals. The Mama Loa is the most powerful figure in any Voodoo sect. Voodoo is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. The Mama Loa is the supreme woman. She goes out of her house at night, sees many things, and tries to get butterflies. And at night again, she sees other things, including fireflies.
Firelight. Gabriel?
What? Can't see.
Gabriel, get in.
Can't. It's too small for me.
You must get in, Gabriel.
It's not mine. Too small.
Hide, Gabriel, hide.
No! Let me out! Help!
Young man, the lecture is over.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Trotzdem danke, es war sehr erleuchtend. Au, das war meine Hand. Professor Hartridge.
Dr. Hartridge is sharp-eyed and even sharper-tongued. When he condescends to look at Gabriel at all, it is with a dismissive glare.
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you've already interrupted and slept through my lecture, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
Do you know what Capri Sanko means?
Cabri Sancour? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in Voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
Danke. Das war tatsächlich sehr aufschlussreich. Ja, das Spiel ist so nett, uns die beiden wichtigsten Namen aus diesem Vortrag tatsächlich, ich sag mal, abzuspeichern hier. Dambala und Ogun Badagri, denn die müssen wir später tatsächlich zuordnen können. Das war im Original einfacher als hier im Remake. Im Original hatten wir nämlich so einen Kassettenrekorder, der sämtliche Unterhaltungen mit allen Leuten aufgenommen hat, sodass wir da jederzeit wieder reinhören konnten, um uns nochmal Revue passieren zu lassen, was die Leute so gesagt haben. Das ist hier ja ein bisschen anders, soweit ich das beurteilen kann zumindest.
Tell me about Dambala.
Dambala is one of the major Rada Loa, also known as Dambala Wado. He is an ancient Dahomian rain god, often represented as a large boa constrictor. Dambala is the most powerful and most violent of the Rada Loa. The Rada Loa are typically benevolent, as opposed, say, to the Patrol Loa. He is still worshipped heavily in Haiti, and when Voodoo first started in New Orleans, the early conclaves were reportedly based on the worship of the great zombie, the great serpent Dambala.
Tell me more about Dambala.
I have extensive courses in the Loa running next semester. Perhaps you should take one of those, Mr. Knight.
Tell me about Ogun Badagri.
Ogun Badagri is one of the Patrol Loa. The Patrol Loa are much more violent than the Rada Loa. Some people believe the Patrol Loa originated in Haiti, but I have found some evidence that the Patrol Loa were African as well, though worshipped only by a small Voodoo tribe, and a very bloody one.
Tell me more about Ogun Badagri.
He is a chief nasty, Mr. Knight. He is the spirit of war and destruction.
Do you know anything about Veves?
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
Danke. Sehr entgegenkommend.
What can you tell me about Voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
What do you know about the Voodoo murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treat voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery in turn has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
Wir überziehen heute ein bisschen, wir machen dieses Gespräch hier jetzt noch fertig, ja?
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should read my books.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel? Huh. What was that translation for Caprice encore again?
It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
What was that?
It's...
Sagt er das jetzt mal wieder? Na gut.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting, from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Tell me about yourself.
All right, Mr. Knight. I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual, when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
Oh, no.
Fine.
I'd really like to know more about you.
There have been several articles written about me, Mr. Knight, as well as blurbs on my book jackets. If you want a biography, read.
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud I didn't think you'd heard it.
You must travel a lot.
Yes, to Africa mainly.
I'm very interested in voodoo myself right now.
How nice for you.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Ezuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ezuli is the gentlest of Loire, so they call on her for mercy. But I've seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before possession by one of the more violent Loire, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that Loire will simply take it for themselves.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably haven't seen a human sacrifice for several generations.
Okay, bevor ich gehe, eine letzte Sache noch. Eine letzte Sache.
Is there anything you can tell me about the voodoo aspects of this photograph?
This is a serious voodoo ritual. Nasty stuff.
In what way?
Let's see. I can't make out much detail from this photograph, except for the corpse, of course, but the wound, the face, and what little I can see of the ritual paraphernalia, It reminds me of certain black voodoo practices. Very rare. I've never witnessed them myself, you understand.
Really? Interesting. Thanks. Up for a few more questions?
Gee, I'd love to.
Tell me what you mean by black voodoo.
Well, like any religion, the beliefs can tend toward positive or negative ends, can be used for good or evil. Christianity, for example, has its doppelganger, Satanism. Anytime you attempt to set up an icon to explain evil, you invite some warped mind to worship it. The same is true of voodoo. There are those who are drawn by and desire personal power from the darker, bloodier Loa.
Can you give me an example of black voodoo?
All right. There is a very secret, very dark cult in Haiti called the Cult des Morts, Cult of the Dead. Their primary Loa is Papa Nebo, Loa of the cemetery. They practice a particularly disgusting form of necromancy, magic using the dead. They dig up corpses and use their decaying bodies for various spells and curses.
Can you give me another example of black voodoo?
In tribal Africa, there were and still are black bokors, shaman bent toward the dark, who not only practice necromancy, but also human sacrifice.
Is there anything else you can tell me about black voodoo?
Only that if it's being practiced in this city, none of us are safe.
Danke, Professor. Sie haben mir wirklich mehr geholfen, als Sie sich im Moment vielleicht vorstellen könnten. Ich denke, unsere Nachforschungen begeben sich gerade in ein ausgesprochen dunkles, in ein ausgesprochen düsteres, finsteres Kapitel. Und mehr davon gibt's dann in der nächsten Folge von Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. Danke, dass ihr trotz Überlänge dran geblieben seid. Und bis zum nächsten Mal.